मानस देह गेह जो किछु और पिलो तुआ पदे नंद किशोर मानस देह गेह जो किछु और पिलो तुआ पदे नंद সম্পদে বিপদে জীবনে মরণে সম্পদে বিপদে জীবনে মরণে দায় মম গেলা তুয়া ও পদ বড় মারো বিরাখবি जो इच्छा तोहारा नृत्य दास प्रति जन्म विमये इच्छा যদি তো ভকত जन्म हो জনম যথা তুয়া দাস বহির্মুখ ব্রহ্ম জন্মে নাহি ভুক্তি মুক্তি স্পৃহা বিহীন যে ভক্ত লভ হইতে তাত সঙ্গ অনুরক্ত জনক জননী দ্বৈত তনয় প্রভু গুরুপতি তুহু সর্বময় ভগতি বিনোদ কহে শুনকান রাধানাথ তুহু হামারো পরাণ রাধানাথ তুহু হামারো পরাণ মানস দেহ গেহ যো কিছু অর্পিল তুয়া পদে নন্দ কিশোর মানস দেহ গেহ যো নন্দ কিশোর মানস দেহ Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Gaur Premanande Hari Hari এটা বন্ধ করে দিতে হবে। Hare Krishna. So today is the last day of the seminar, so I was wondering, so there are quite a few aspects that we could discuss. And at the outset I want to mention about one very nice devotee from London who was trying to come here for this program, but unfortunately, as she arrived in India, she had a stroke. She was quite old and she was already having physical difficulties. So recently when I was in London and she told me that she wanted to come, I told her not to come. But she insisted, and on the 8th of September, she left her body in Bombay. Her name is Devakanya Devidasi. She arrived in Mumbai on the 5th September. Both she and her husband were on the wheelchair, and she had a stroke as she came out of the plane. And her plan was to go first to Calcutta from Bombay and then come here for the festival. And from the airport, airlines itself took her to the hospital, Kokilavon Ambani Hospital, and she had a brain hemorrhage. She was bleeding quite profusely. Her daughter also is a doctor. She came to India from London. She flew in. And I was in touch with her. And about 3 weeks back, I got to know later that 3 weeks back, during her garland service, she used to make garlands in the temple. She used to come and make garlands. And she told her daughter, Radha Dasi, that she was going to go to India to attend this festival, Prabhupada Memorial Festival, and she didn't want to come back to London. She wanted to leave her body in India. And it was quite... Anyway, then on 7th, she was taken to Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And there, surrounded by devotees chanting devotees chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. She left her body. I spoke to her in a couple of times, and before she left, she was listening to Prabhupada's tapes, and they also called me up and told me. So I also spoke to her. And she couldn't respond, but I was speaking and the phone was kept to her, next to her ears. And so we all pray to Srila Prabhupada that he gives her the shelter of his lotus feet and guides her in a journey back to Godhead. Devakanna Devi Dasi ki jai. So in her memory, let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, yesterday I ended the class with the description of Balaram getting married to Revati. So today we'll discuss about Krishna's marriage. Krishna's marriages. The first one that Krishna got married to, the first queen that Krishna got married to was Rukmini. Who is Rukmini? Rukmini is Mahalakshmi. She is the origin of Lakshmi Devi actually, Mahalakshmi. So she appeared as the daughter of King Bhishmaka of Vidarbha land. Extremely beautiful. Naturally, she is Lakshmi Devi. So extremely beautiful, extremely qualified. So Bhishmaka was wondering who should she be given to in marriage. That means the consideration of the father is that the daughter must be given to the suitable husband. So one day when Narad Muni came to his palace, he asked about who is a suitable match for Rukmini. So Narad Muni told about Krishna. And Rukmini just heard about Krishna from that description, what Narad Muni was telling about Krishna's qualities. And just by hearing, Rukmini fell in love with Krishna. So this is one example that how one can fall in love just by hearing about Krishna. It is not that we have to see Krishna. Just by hearing about Krishna, one can fall in love. And how deeply she fell in love. She felt, this is the person I'm going to accept as my husband. So just by hearing about Krishna, she offered her heart and soul to him. And when her father got to know that already he was told by Narad Muni that how wonderful Krishna is. And so Bhishmaka, also when he heard that Rukmini has accepted Krishna as a husband, so he was very happy about that and decided, okay, we'll get her married to Krishna. But Rukmini's brother, Rukmi, due to her bad association with Jarasandha and Shishupal and Dantabhakra, he also became averse to Krishna. That is, he also became demoniac. So when he heard that the father wanted Rukmini to be given to Krishna, he was completely opposed to the idea. And he was saying, Krishna? Why Krishna? What's his background? Like, we don't even know whether he's a Kshatriya. Some say that he is the son of Vasudeva. But even if he's the son of Vasudeva, even if he's a Kshatriya, but what's his upbringing? He grew up in a village with the cowherd boys. So see how the materialistic people's attitude is? Like, they try to see everything from the materialistic point of view. The birth in aristocratic family and material qualifications. That's their only concern. And he said, no way she is going to get married to Krishna. The suitable match for Rukmini is Shishupal, Krishna's enemy. Not that Krishna's enemy, but Shishupal considered that Krishna was his enemy. They were related actually, cousin. Krishna and Shishupal were cousins. Shishupal's mother was Krishna's aunt. And Rukmini said, see, what a family line. And what a heroic person he is. He's so powerful, he's so strong. And naturally, who is Shishupal? Shishupal is who was Ravan. And prior to that, Hiranyakashipu. It's the biggest demon. So he wanted his daughter to be married to this demon, Shishupal. Ravan and Kumbhakarna appeared as Shishupal and Dantavakra. So, and Bhishmaka could not protest, because actually the fathers of these demons were very worried, very much afraid of their sons. Like, they saw how Kamsa arrested his father and put him in prison. So Bhishmaka also was kind of worried that if I go against him, then probably he'll also put me in prison. So he did not oppose. He said, okay, if that is what you want, go ahead. So the marriage was arranged for Rukmini with Shishupal. And Rukmini was totally devastated. So now she had only 2 days left. And the arrangement was made very quickly, so that there is no impediment. So in 2 days' time she is going to get married. So she wrote a letter to Krishna, a beautiful letter, saying that how she has given her heart to Krishna. And this heart that she has given, she cannot offer it to anyone else. And she sent a Brahmana with the letter to Dwarka. So the Brahmana went to Krishna, gave the letter. Krishna asked him to read it out. So he read it out. It's a beautiful way of surrendering to Krishna. So Krishna immediately called his chariot driver, Daruka, that harness the horses in the chariot. I'm going immediately. So Krishna just left to rescue Rukmini alone with the Brahmana. Balaram got the news and he anticipated some trouble. So he took the army and went to, followed Krishna. So in the morning Krishna arrived and he rested in a garden and saw from the garden a beautiful city called Kundingram and full of opulence. And in the meantime, all these Shishupal along with his other friends also came. Like Jarasandha, Dantavakra, Viduratha, Paundraka. So they all are demons. Demons means they're kings, but they're averse to Krishna. The demons have taken birth as kings. And so they also, so then Bhishmaka greeted them, like all these kings came, Jarasandha, Dantavakra, they're all Shishupal's friends. And then Bhishmaka got to know that Krishna also arrived and Balaram also came. So he also went to greet them. And seeing Krishna, he was thinking, when he was greeting Krishna, or after offering worship to him, at the back of his mind he was thinking that I wish Rukmini was married to Krishna. Such a nice person. Is not only so beautiful, so handsome, but his nature also is so attractive. And so, and not only Bhishmaka, even the people of that city, when they saw Krishna, they also started to tell, we wish Rukmini was married to Krishna. So, and now in the meantime, Rukmini is waiting. What happened to the Brahmana? And she was thinking, did the Brahmana reach there safely? Did he give the letter to Krishna? Did Krishna read it? Did Krishna decide to come and rescue me as I requested him to do? So when she was in utter anxiety, on the day of her marriage, the Brahmana just came there and gave the good news that Krishna already arrived. So Rukmini felt quite reassured. So just before the marriage, she went to the Durga temple, Parvati's temple, and she was offering prayers. Devi, you always fulfill the desire of your devotees. So please allow me to get married to Krishna. And her friends who were surrounding her, they heard, said, what are you saying? You are getting married to Shishupal. You should pray that you can get married to Shishupal. So Rukmini didn't say anything. She was just silently now offering the prayers. And she went there to the temple surrounded by thousands of soldiers. Some were on foot, some were on chariots, some were on horseback. So she is being guarded. And the enemy side also is worried that Krishna came. And they got to know that also that initially the idea was to offer Rukmini to Krishna, and they were anticipating that maybe Krishna will cause some trouble. So they came with their entire army. For example, Paundraka came with 2 Akshohini soldiers. Viduratha came with 3 Akshohini. Dantavakra came with 5 Akshohini. Shalva came with 3 Akshohini. And Jarasandha came with 10 Akshohini soldiers. So this way they came with 23 Akshohini soldiers. And so they all were, all the soldiers were guarding Rukmini. So after worshipping the Devi, Rukmini just came out of the temple. As she came out of the temple, just by seeing her beauty, all the soldiers became completely mesmerized, and they lost their senses. Their arms fell off their hands. Many of them just fainted and fell on the ground, seeing her beauty, became afflicted by lusty desires. And so in the meantime, Krishna just drove the chariot like a wind, cut through the enemy line, came to Rukmini, picked her up in the chariot and drove off. When drove off, when Krishna took Rukmini and drove off, then they all came back to their senses. And they started to shout, he has stolen the bride, Krishna has stolen the bride. And so at that time, Shishupal, Dantavakra, Shishupal was already in the ceremony. Here the poor guy was already bathed by the brahmanas, dressed up and all. And others, they were playing dice. And they heard the uproar. And that Krishna stole the bride. So they all came out and arranged their armies and attacked Krishna and Balaram with the Jadus. Now, Balaram actually brought only 1 Akshohini and soldiers, but there were 23 Akshohinis, so terrible fight ensued. And in that battle, Balaram alone actually with his mace struck Jarasandha, Dantavakra, Viduratha, Paundraka, Shalva, and they all became unconscious. And then Balaram, with his plow, he pulled all the enemy soldiers. He was pulling the soldiers with his plow, and he was beating them with his club. And in this way, all those soldiers were wiped out. It has been described, the 80 square mile area became like a pool of blood with the blood of all these dead soldiers. So, and they somehow, Jarasandha and others somehow saved their life and ran away from the battlefield when they gained their consciousness. They ran from the battlefield. And they went to Shishupal. Shishupal was sitting there with holding his head with his hands, completely devastated. Jarasandha who was like the leader of that group, he consoled Shishupal. Shishupal, don't worry. Just one bride you lost. So what? There are so many princesses waiting to get married to you. And so in this way, Krishna actually kidnapped Rukmini. Rukmini Haran. Now the news reached Rukmi, who was in the palace. So when he heard that, he just took a vow. If I don't kill Krishna and rescue my sister and bring her back, I'm not going to come back to this city. And he arranged his soldiers and attacked Krishna and Balaram. Again, another fight ensued, and his army was defeated. Krishna caught Rukmi, and he was about to kill him. Rukmini fell at Krishna's feet. That on this auspicious occasion, please don't smear it with the blood of my relative, blood of my brother. Please spare him. So Krishna didn't kill him, but shaved him up. Half the head, half of his moustache, and half of his beard. And which was synonymous to death. Such an embarrassment for a warrior. So Balaram came, and Balaram started to jokingly chastise Krishna. Krishna, is this the way to treat your brother-in-law? How will you ever win the heart of your wife if you treat her brother in this way? So Krishna then released him, and he did not go back. Rukmi did not go back to the kingdom, Kundingram, but he settled there and he created his city there called Bhojakut. So this is how Krishna got married to Rukmini. Rukmini was brought to Dwarka, and with great pomp and grandeur, Rukmini got married to Krishna. One day, one king, Satrajit, came to the... Satrajit was a worshipper of sun god. And sun god gave him a jewel called Samantaka jewel. And this Samantaka jewel used to radiate such brilliance that when Satrajit came wearing that jewel, people started to think that Surya Dev has arrived. And the news reached the assembly of Ugrasen that Surya Dev has come, Surya Dev has come. But eventually they found out that it was Satrajit wearing this Samantaka jewel. So Krishna told Satrajit to give that jewel to King Ugrasen. But he did not say anything. He was silent. He didn't say anything. And so then one day, Satrajit's brother, Satadhanna, wearing the jewel, went to the forest to hunt. And he was killed by a lion. And when he didn't come back, and the news reached that Satrajit is dead, Satadhanna is dead in the forest. So Satrajit started to spread the rumor that it must be Krishna who, for his desire to get Shamantaka jewel, he killed him and took the jewel away. But actually what happened is Shatadhanna was killed by a lion. Then Jambavan, as you remember, Lord Ramchandra's associate, Jambavan killed the lion and took the Samantaka jewel. So Krishna then, in order to free himself from this bad rumor, Krishna himself went to the forest and he saw Shatadhanna, and nearby he saw the body of a lion, and then he saw the footsteps, some footsteps. So following the footsteps he came to a cave. So he entered into the cave, and in that cave he saw that a little boy is playing with Shamantaka jewel. So when Krishna asked the boy, "Give it to me," the boy started to cry. And hearing the boy's loud cry, Jambavan came out and he saw Krishna. And he asked, "Who are you? Why? What are you doing here?" And he attacked Krishna. So they fought for a long time. For 27 days they fought. But no one could defeat the other. So on the 27th day, Jambavan went to offer some worship to his Lord. There was no flower or tulasi leaf, so he found some moss. So he took that moss and offered it to Lord Ramchandra with prayers. So when he came to fight again, he saw that the moss that he offered to Ramchandra is at the feet of Krishna. So then he realized, so this is my Lord Ramchandra actually, who came in this way. So he recognized who Krishna was, and he fell at his feet, begged forgiveness, and as a token of remorse and apology, he offered his beautiful daughter Jambavati to Krishna. And he gave the Samantaka jewel as the dowry. So then Krishna went back to Dwarka and offered and gave that jewel to King Satyajit. Now Satyajit became very afraid that I spread a false rumor, and Krishna is so angry, must be so angry, and to have animosity with Krishna means the end of my life. So he wanted to make truce with Krishna. So he had a beautiful daughter, Satyabhama. So he offered her to Krishna. And so this is how Krishna got married to his third wife, Satyabhama. Then Krishna went to see his relatives, the Pandavas, in Hastinapur. And that's the first time actually Krishna met the Pandavas. And from the first meeting only they became, Arjuna and Krishna became so friendly. Krishna heard all the difficulties that they had gone through, and Krishna tried to console them. Then Krishna and Arjuna went out hunting. So after hunting, they were just sitting on the bank of the Jamuna, and just talking among themselves. So all of a sudden they saw there's an extremely beautiful girl. And Krishna became curious who this girl was. So he told Arjun, Arjun, go and find out who this girl is. So Arjun went and asked her who she was. And she told that she's the daughter of sun god and Surya Kanya. Her name is Kalindi. And she wanted to have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a husband. So her father built a palace for her under the Jamuna river. So there she is performing austerities in order to get Krishna as a husband. So then Arjun said, well, Krishna is here. So Arjun took Kalindi to Krishna, and this is how Krishna got married to the fourth wife, Kalindi. Then in this particular place called Avanti, the king had a beautiful daughter, Mitravinda. And Mitravinda was going to be have her Sayambara. And she had two brothers, Binda and Anubinda. They also became demoniac. So they were so demoniac that they told Mitrabinda that, look, you are going to select your husband. Select whoever you want, but not Krishna. So this is how the demons are always opposed to Krishna. So anyway, so like Krishna, Rukmini, Krishna also stole Mitrabinda, who was his fifth wife. In each such case, there was a terrible fight. This time, they actually made a barricade on the way. And all the soldiers, all of a sudden, they attacked Krishna when they were returning home. And Krishna actually defeated all of them and took Mitrabinda to Dwarka. And then Krishna got to know about one princess. She was very, very beautiful. She was celebrated for her beauty. Her name was Satya. So Krishna went to her father's palace. Father's name was Nagnajit. Therefore, Satya's another name was Nagnajiti, the daughter of King Nagnajit. So Krishna came there. The father received Krishna very happily. And he was very... And Krishna told, I heard about your daughter and I came to have her as my wife. Said that, look, I would be very happy to have you as my son-in-law. But the problem is, I made a condition that I have 7 bulls. They're extremely ferocious. Each bull is like 1,000 lions, as powerful as 1,000 lions, and more ferocious than 1,000 lions. So, whoever will be able to subdue these 7 bulls can have my daughter. And you know, so many kings and powerful princes came. Many of them left their lives here and with broken limbs, broken legs and arms. They actually left this place. No one has been successful in doing that. So that is the condition, like, if you want to have my daughter as your wife, then you have to fulfill that condition. Krishna said, fine. So Krishna went to the arena. A huge arena was created. And the 7 bulls were released. And as soon as they were released, they charged towards Krishna. And Krishna immediately expanded himself into 7 forms. 6 more forms. And he tackled those 7 bulls. Subdued them, put the rope around their nose, because when they put the rope around through the nose of the bull becomes tamed. So you put the nose through the ropes through the nose of the 7 bulls, and he took them to King Nagnajit. So this is how Krishna got married to the 6th wife. Then there was another princess, her name was Bhadra. Now Bhadra's brothers were very fond of Krishna, so they offered Bhadra to Krishna. And in South India, in Madras, today's Tamil Nadu, it was such a beautiful name coming since the time immemorial, Madras, and that became Madras. But now they got the name Tamil Nadu. Maybe they're fond of laddus. And so they changed the name. The king of Madra had a beautiful daughter. Her name was Lakshmana. And just like Draupadi, he also made an arrangement that if somebody can pierce the target looking at the reflection on a pool of water, if he can shoot the arrow through a revolving disc with a hole in it, then and hit the target, then he can win Lakshmana. So many kings came, but they all failed. But then Krishna went and he hit the target with his bow and arrow, and this is how he won Lakshmana. This is how Krishna got married to 8 principal queens. And actually, when Krishna expands, then Radharani also expands. So Krishna expanded from Vrindavan to Dwarka as Vasudev. Then the 8 gopis also expanded as the 8 queens. And Krishna was dancing with 16,000 queens, 16,000 gopis. Now let's see what happened to those 16,100. There was a demon called Narakasura. So the demon was causing a lot of distress to the demigods. And so the demigods approached Krishna. This Narakasura has stole the earrings of Aditi, the mother of the demigods. He also stole the umbrella of Indra, and he is causing so much distress. So please take care of him. So being requested by the demigods, Krishna went to Pragjyotishpur, today's Assam, Guwahati, and there he challenged Narakasura. A terrible fight ensued and Krishna killed Narakasura. Now this Narakasura had 16,100 princesses in captivity, imprisoned them. So Krishna, after killing Narakasura, he released those girls, and all those girls fell at his feet and said, look, our reputation, our character has been smeared because we have been stolen from our father's house by this demon, and we had been in captivity in the prison of the demon. So no one will marry us, thinking that we are all contaminated. So you are the shelter of all the fallen souls, all the living entities in distress. So you please accept us as your wives. So Krishna said, okay. So Krishna expanded himself into 16,100 Krishnas, and he got married to all these 16,100 princesses. So this is how Krishna actually got married to 16,108 queens. So from Rukmini, Krishna got his son, Pradyumna. Pradyumna is actually Kamdev, Cupid. And Cupid is born as Pradyumna. In the previous life, Cupid was burned to ashes by Lord Shiva. Do you all know the story? Do you know the incident? Everyone knows? Or you want to hear again? Haribol means yes or no? Yes. Okay. You see, Sati, that you know, yeah? That Sati left her body because her father Daksha was blaspheming Lord Shiva in front of her. So she could not tolerate the blasphemy of her husband, so she left her body. So when Lord Shiva got the news, he came with his associates and plundered the sacrifice of Daksha. He killed Daksha, and even those Brahmanas, sages who were assisting Daksha in the sacrifice, they also were harassed. All his teeth were broken, and somebody lost his shikha, and so this is how everyone was harassed. And so then Lord Shiva picked up Sati's body and he started to dance. That dance is called Tandava Nritta, dance of devastation. And as Lord Shiva dances, the whole creation falls apart through the Tandava Nritta. Like as his feet fall with the stepping, the atoms and molecules split. And that's how the whole creation becomes annihilated, destroyed. So the whole creation is now going to fall apart because of Lord Shiva's angry mood and due to his Tandava Nritta. And so the demigods approached Vishnu, Narayan, that the whole creation is falling apart, please do something. So Narayan then released his Sudarshan Chakra. And Sudarshan Chakra kept cutting Sati's body to pieces. Sati's body was cut into 51 pieces. And those places became the place of Devi, pilgrimage place of Devi. One piece also fell here. In Calcutta there is one piece, Kali Ghat is where one piece fell. In Assam, near Guwahati, in Kamakha, one piece fell. So these are all the places of Devi. So, so then her whole body being cut into pieces by Sudarshan Chakra, and then all of a sudden Lord Shiva saw no body. So he just sat down and in meditation. Now, the demigods are being attacked by the demons, and they needed a qualified general. And so the general could be the ideal general, ideal that they could get, has to be the son of Lord Shiva. He would be the qualified general of the demigods. Now Lord Shiva is in a trance. He had lost all his external senses. And so when they approached Kamdev, what does Kamdev do? Kamdev arouses the lusty feelings in the heart. He has 5 arrows. He shoots those flower arrows, and being struck by those arrows, one develops attraction for opposite sex. So they went and told Kamdev that please break Lord Shiva's vow, Shiva's trance, by shooting the arrows. Prior to that, it was understood, the demigods knew, that Sati has been born as the daughter of the Himalayas, Parvati. So now Parvati has to be married to Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva is completely lost in his meditation. So Kamdev refused to do that. He said, no way. I mean, I don't want to become a cause of Lord Shiva's wrath, anger. But the demigods said, don't worry, we will protect you. You just do it. We will be there to protect you. So being persuaded in this way, Kamdev went and shoot his flower arrows. And being struck by those flower arrows, Lord Shiva's meditation broke. And he wanted to figure out who actually broke my meditation. And his glance fell on Kamdev. And he was burnt to ashes. So that's why Kamdev doesn't have any form, any body. Another name of Kamdev is Ananga. Ananga, Ananga, one without any anga, one without any body. So this is how Kamdev actually lost his body. So now Kamdev is born as Pradyumna. And there was a demon called Sambarasura. The Sambarasura got to know that Krishna and Rukmini's son, Pradyumna, will be the cause of his death. Now when this demon get to know about their death, what do? We all know that. They somehow want to try to avoid death. So when Pradyumna was not even 10 days, he was about 9 days old, Sambarasura stole Pradyumna from the palace and carried him onto the ocean and dropped him in the ocean, thinking that he has killed him. But there was a big fish that swallowed the baby. Some fishermen, while fishing in the ocean, caught this big fish. And he thought that it is this fish. If I offer to the king will be very pleased. So he went and gave this fish to Sambarasura. Sambarasura told them to take the fish to the kitchen and have a nice mache jhol, a fish curry. So, and the head cook, when he cut the fish, they saw there is a baby in the belly of the fish. But the baby is still alive. He was surprised. The fish is in the belly of the fish. The child is in the belly of the fish, but the baby is still alive. So he called one of his assistants, a girl called Mayavati, and said that this baby is still alive, so you take care of this baby. Now, this Mayavati is actually Cupid's or Kamdev's wife Rati. She was there as Mayavati. And when she saw the baby, she realized it's a husband. And surprisingly, this little baby, immediately grew up to a young man. And then Mayavati was treating him as a husband. So Pradyumna told that you are like my mother. Why are you behaving with me in this way? So then she told that actually you are my husband from my previous life, from our previous life. And you are, the Sambarasura tried to kill you. You are the son of Krishna and Rukmini. So she gave the whole knowledge, and she told that you have to kill Sambarasura. But Sambarasura has mystic power. Therefore, it's very difficult to defeat him. It's impossible to defeat him. But I am giving you the mystic power called Mahamaya. And with that power, you will be able to subdue his mystic power. So he went and challenged Sambarasura. Sambarasura asked, "Why are you challenging me? Why you want to fight with me? I don't have any animosity with you." Then Pradyumna said, "You are the one, do you remember? You stole me from my parents' palace, from my mother's lap, and you threw me in the ocean, thinking that you are going to kill me. So, and you are saying that you don't have any animosity with me? Come, let's fight." So these demons are very powerful, so a terrible fight ensued between Sambarasura and Pradyumna, and then Sambarasura started to use this mystic power. He disappeared, and all kinds of weapons started to fly towards Pradyumna, and he couldn't see where his enemy was. So he just meditated on the mantra, Mahamaya mantra. And then immediately Sambarasura's mystic spell disappeared. And so Pradyumna then killed Sambarasura. And then with Rati, he came back to Dwarka. When he came, like everyone, especially the queens, seeing him, they thought that this is Krishna. And so, but at the same time, they felt that towards this boy, they are feeling, instead of having amorous feeling, they are feeling affection. And then Krishna told Rukmini what actually happened. So this is how Pradyumna got married to, what's her name? Mayavati or Rati. Mayavati. Pradyumna got married to another girl, surprisingly, the daughter of Rukmi. Rukmini's brother who fought with Krishna. She had a beautiful daughter, and he actually also stole her. So that's how Pradyumna got married to Rukmi's daughter. And now they have got a relationship. But a demon's nature cannot be rectified. So one day, Balaram was in Rukmi's house in Bhojakut, and they were playing dice. And Rukmi was cheating. So Balaram found out that he was cheating in that game. So he took that dice and hit him with that, and Rukmi was dead. Now, Pradyumna's son is Aniruddha. Do you want to hear another love story? There was a very powerful demon, Asura. His name is Vanasura. Vanasura had a beautiful daughter, Usha. So, as the girls usually in their budding youth develop some infatuation, so Usha started to see somebody in her dreams, and she used to converse with him. So her friend, her constant companion, Chitralekha, the daughter of Bana's minister, Chitralekha could see or could hear that at night she must be dreaming of somebody and she is speaking to him in her dreams. So she asked Chitralekha. Chitralekha asked Usha, Usha, what's the matter? Looks like you have fallen in love with somebody. So Usha says, yes, one personality appears to me in a dream and I feel an inconceivable attraction towards him and he speaks to me in a very loving way and I have fallen in love with that person, like I have given my heart to him. So Chitralekha had the ability to paint. So she started to paint different personalities. Is this the person in your dream? Is this the person? So she was showing the portraits, painting portraits of different exalted personalities. And upon seeing that, Usha would say, no, not this one, not this one. But then when it came to Aniruddha, Pradyumna's son, Chitralekha could see that there was a sign of embarrassment and she looked down, and shaking hand, yes, this is the one. So who is this? Oh, this is Krishna's grandson and Pradyumna's son. They live in Dwarka. Now Dwarka is far, far away. So what to do? Chitralekha said, don't worry, Usha. Your friend is going to fulfill your heart's desire. So she had the mystic power. So with her mystic power, she transported Aniruddha in his sleep from Dwarka to Shonitpur, Banasura's capital. And so they were very happy, falling in love. And generally in the royal families or aristocratic families, the women do not have anything to do with the male members. So that is called Andar Mahal, inner part of the house. So they're in the inner part of the house, and then Usha's Dhatri, the nurse or maidservant, one of the maidservants, could see the sign that she is associating with some male person. So instead of trying to do something herself, she went and reported to her mother that, look, your daughter looks like she is associating with some male member. And how is it possible? She never goes out from the inner chamber. She doesn't have any possibility of associating with any man. So her mother also came and saw, and she saw, yeah, she is having the signs of meeting some male member. So she reported her husband. So immediately Vanasura came into the inner part of the palace where the ladies were. And there he found Aniruddha playing dice with Usha. So both of them are shocked to be caught in this way. So Banasura told his bodyguards that arrest him. He was unarmed, he didn't have any weapon, Aniruddha. So he found an iron rod. And just with that iron rod, he wiped out all of Banasura's bodyguards. So Banasura then used his power with Varuna Pash, the the ropes of Varuna, which is like a mystic power it has, like he arrested and tied up Aniruddha. So Narad Muni went and reported to Krishna in Dwarka. So immediately they got their army and came to rescue Aniruddha. And a terrible fight ensued. Banasura was blessed by Lord Shiva that he would protect his capital. And so Lord Shiva also came to fight on behalf of Banasura with all the demigods. And and a terrible fight ensued. And in that fight, Sudarshan Chakra chased Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva ran, went to Kashi, Benares. And there the chakra burnt the whole Benares. So then Lord Shiva actually went to Mayapur, being chased by the chakra this way. So then, anyway, so Lord Shiva actually came and begged Krishna not to kill Banasura, because he said that this is my disciple, very fond disciple of mine, so please spare him. So Banasura had 1,000 arms. That's why he was so proud of his prowess. So Krishna, with his Sudarshan Chakra, cut 996 arms of Banasura and kept only 4. So that is how Banasura was defeated, and Aniruddha got married to Usha. So Krishna's pastimes are so wonderful. Thank you all very much. Now I'll take some questions. There were some questions from yesterday. Who has them? Take some. Okay. Question from Radhacharan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Radhacharan Prabhu. Actually, the first question is, how much older is Balaram than Lord Krishna as per their appearance? So that is a mystery. But Jiva Goswami makes a point that it cannot be 1 year, because the child could not be 1 year without a name. Right? Krishna and Balaram had the name-giving ceremony together. Garga Muni came and gave the name. So that way it seems that their distance was just a couple of weeks. And we can also see that they're playing the similar way. Like holding on to the tail of a calf, and Balaram and Krishna, the same. Anyway, the thing is that It's inconceivable. Garga Samhita is actually saying that Balaram stayed in Mother Rohini's womb for 5 days. And then he appeared. So these are all some inconceivable facts that we won't be able to solve. Right? The next question is, those who worship deities develop some attachment to the deities, which help in meditation. Those who focus on chanting, preaching, and study don't have that much attachment to deities. How should we understand? Very good point. So I presume you are driving at personal deities at home, right? So yes, attachment to the deities is natural, but the point is, like when you have the deities at home, you have to take care of them properly, right? Especially Radha Krishna deities. Better than Radha Krishna worship, easier than Radha Krishna worship is Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. You just feed them, they'll be happy. Right? Jagannath is happy if there is enough offerings. But even more simple is Gaur Nitai. They are happy if you are just chanting. So that is the point, like when one is working or running his business, is out the most of the time, and nowadays what is happening? Both husband and wife are working. So who will take care of the deities? Like just having the worship of the deities in the morning, one time, and then rest of the day, no attention. It's not right. Like that's why if you want to have deities, then make sure that you're in a position to take care of them properly. At least one member of the family has to be assigned with that responsibility. So now the other consideration is that Prabhupada, early days, of course, did not want devotees to have personal deities. Prabhupada's response was that if you all want to have your own deities, then why I am having the deities in the temple? Like you all are going to take care of your deities, who will take care of the deities in the temple? So therefore, the best thing is to develop the attachment to the deities in the temple. Okay. Next question. Those who get direct personal association and service of their Guru Maharaj get exceptional benefits of memorable moments and personal instructions also. But how others who are genuinely eager to serve and are sincere, are they bereft of such blessings and good fortune? Sometimes it's a good fortune, sometimes it's not. Like, I was just a very new devotee, and one of my sannyasi godbrother, I heard him say that he didn't want to be close to Srila Prabhupada because he was afraid of committing offenses. And of course I heard it, but in the back of my mind I was thinking that I don't care. If I get an opportunity to be with Prabhupada, I'll just grab that opportunity. And another problem being too close to Guru is it kind of, this is the point, like you start to see him, one may tend to see him as an ordinary person. try to deal with him as an ordinary person. So that is another danger. And another thing is that when you are too close to your spiritual master and you make some mistake, then be prepared for some thunderbolts falling on your head. And so these are the few considerations. But at the same time, I agree with you that after all there is a benefit. But what to do, like personally I feel that ISKCON should have at least a few thousand gurus now. But there are not even 100 gurus probably in ISKCON. And the result is the gurus are overburdened, disciples are not getting enough association and guidance. And the thing is that the way I look at it is that the safety of that situation is ISKCON institution. Because being in ISKCON will get the guidance and the association. Thus, they may not get the association of their gurus, but they can get the association of many other wonderful devotees around them. So that is, although we do not have many initiating gurus, but we have many Shiksha gurus. So now it's a matter of recognizing that. There's a question. Manoj Mangi. Okay, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Pam ho. मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि शिशुपाल ना कृष्ण लीला में इतने ज़्यादा उत्पात नहीं किया जितने कंस ने किए, और दंतवक्र का भी उतना बड़ा रोल नहीं हुआ या ओके। अब मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आता कि शिशुपाल व दंतवक्र जय व विजय थे, क्योंकि कंस ओ जरासंध ना ज़्यादा उत्पात नहीं किए, और कंस व जरासंध काम हो पिछले जन्म में कंस क्या था? ओके, सो पिछले जन्म में कंस था कालनेमी। कालनेमी को विष्णु ने जब समुद्र मंथन हो रहा था अमृत प्राप्ति के लिए, उस समय विष्णु ने कालनेमी को संहार किया। तो कालनेमी को शुक्राचार्य ने पुनर्जीवित किया, नया जीवन दान किया, बचाया। तो कालनेमी wanted to take revenge, and he performed great austerity for a long time, and as a result of that he got certain boons from Lord Brahma, and he was born as Kamsa. Okay, so who is Kamsa? And the other thing is, like Shishupal and Dantavakra did not create so much disturbance. Yeah, the direct confrontation was not so much, but verbal confrontation and verbal blasphemy was there. So that's why Krishna actually gave the words to Shishupal's mother. You see, that history goes like that. When Shishupal was born, he was born with 3 eyes and 4 arms. So that was considered to be very inauspicious. And at the same time, there was an announcement that when he sits on someone's lap, his eyes and arms will disappear, but that person will kill him. So they tried many other people when they put a little Shishupal on their laps, but 3 eyes remained, 4 arms remained. Then once Mother Jashoda came with Krishna. They are relatives, as I mentioned. And playfully, Krishna put Shishupal on his lap. And lo and behold, the 3rd eye disappeared, 2 arms disappeared. So now the mother of Shishupal could also see that Krishna is going to kill him. So she told Krishna that please forgive him for all his offenses. Krishna said, I will tolerate his 100 offenses, but then I'll kill him if it exceeds 100 offenses. Okay, so that is what Shishupal got. That is how he got to know that Krishna is his arch enemy. So he started to blaspheme Krishna. Then finally in the Rajasuya Yajna, his blasphemy reached 100. And Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra was released from his hand and severed his head. Now, as you were saying, did not commit so much disturbance. That is because they're causing disturbance, not directly, but indirectly through their blasphemy. Brajendra Krishna Das, Hare Krishna. I read in Srila Prabhupada's book that Rukmini in Dwarka and Srimati Radharani in Vrindavan are same, but also heard in your lecture that Queen Satyabhama is Srimati Radharani's incarnation. Yeah. Well, yeah, scripture says that it is Satyabhama who is Radharani's incarnation, and Rukmini is Chandravali's incarnation. But when Prabhupada says that Rukmini is Radharani, then we have to understand that in some kalpa, Radharani came as Rukmini. Parameshwari Radhika Devi Dasi. 4 expansions, Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, are the same as the son of Krishna in Krishna Leela. Please explain. No, Vasudev and Shankarshan are Krishna's direct expansions. But Pradyumna and Aniruddha, they are actually quadruple. Balaram, Krishna expands in Balaram, Balaram expands as Chaturbhuha. Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Okay? They are Krishna's, not Krishna's son or grandson, but Krishna's expansion. But in these pastimes, yes, Pradyumna is the son, Balaram is the brother, Shankarshan, Pradyumna is the son, and Aniruddha is the grandson. Kobita Sundari Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, আপনার চরণে শত করে দণ্ডবত প্রণাম। কয়েক মাস হয়ে গেল প্রচার কাজটি ঠিকমতো হচ্ছে না, নানান কারণে আপনি কৃপা করুন আমি যেন এই প্রচার কাজটি ঠিকভাবে করে যেতে পারি, প্রভুপাদ উদ্দেশ্যকে সফল করতে পারি। নিশ্চয়ই করো, খুব ভালো কথা, করো ভালো করে প্রচার। তপন চৈতন্য দাস, আমার প্রশ্ন, বৈবস্বত মনুর অষ্টবিংশতিতম চতুর্যুগের দাপরের সন্ধ্যাকালে শ্রীকৃষ্ণচন্দ্র আবির্ভূত হন। এই চতুর্যুগের আগে ত্রেতাযুগ আসে ও পরে দাপর যুগ আসে কেন? I don't understand. এই চতুর্যুগের আগে ত্রেতাযুগ আসে ও পরে দাপর যুগ আসে কেন? ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ, ওকে, ভেরি গুড। Generally, the movement of the yugas is Satya, Dwapar, Treta, Kali. After Satyajug comes Dwapar Yug. But in this one, Treta comes before Dwapar. In this cycle, this change takes place. The reason for this change is Krishna at the end of the Dwapar Yuga will perform his Braja Leela. And then in Kali Yuga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come and reveal the identity of Krishna in Braja. So that's why if Treta Yuga came in between, then that wouldn't have been possible. You get it? Whose question? Tapan? Okay. বুঝতে পারলে? যেহেতু কৃষ্ণের এই লীলার পরে এই লীলার মাহাত্ম্য বোঝার জন্য কৃষ্ণ ভক্তরূপে আসেন, তো সেই জন্য এই যুগে এই সুইচ হয়। So the question is, the general movement of the yugas is Satyayuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga and Kali Yuga. Dwapar means second, Treta means third. So naturally, first, second, third, then fourth. So generally that is how it moves. But in this age, because Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, Brajendra Nandan Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, is meant to come and perform his pastimes in Dwapar Yug, in Braja Leela. There is a need to explain who is Krishna and what is the glory of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. Therefore, Krishna comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the age of Kali. So that's why there is switch. Because if Krishna performed his pastimes in Dwapar Yuga, then Treta Yuga came, and then Kali Yuga came. Like if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in Kali Yuga, and in between Krishna's pastime was Treta Yuga, then that wouldn't have been possible. So that, is it clear? Okay, so I'll stop now. Maybe this evening session I'll make just question answer session. Keep these questions. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.